the boy never expected that at the talent appraisal ceremony at age 5, he originally thought his identity as an 8-star summoner would be exposed. Yet unexpectedly the test results showed he had no talent at all, and the job column even displayed a bunch of garbled text. In contrast, his childhood friend who grew up with him awakened a 3-star Sword Saint class. From then on she could leave the serf class, while Alan's ordinary job meant he could only farm, and would never escape a serf's life in this lifetime. But after returning to the village, his family calmly accepted the result. No matter what his talent was, Alan was still the most important family member. Yet what no one knew was that Alan's ability far surpassed that of a Sword Saint. The only reason he appeared mediocre at the ceremony was because before transmigrating he chose Hell difficulty, requiring 100 times the normal experience to level up, so all his stats were at E rank. As for why the job column showed garbled text, that's because at the time he chose a job the system hadn't officially registered yet, an overspec 8-star summoner. After the appraisal ceremony, Alan became as unremarkable as a stone by the roadside, but his childhood friend Krina was different. The news of a Sword Saint's birth alarmed the city's night order. However, their attitude wasn't as enthusiastic as expected. To confirm whether Krina's talent was real, she still needed to pass a combat test. Her arranged opponent wasn't just the vice captain of the night order. Even the weapons used were real swords. Krina's father didn't want his daughter to take such a risk, but the captain insisted forcefully. If they refused the test, he would execute the father and daughter on the spot. So the battle had to begin. But contrary to everyone's worries, Krina was a bit scatterbrained. The moment she heard they'd be fighting with real swords, she became unbelievably excited. Although Alan often sparred with Krina, and knew her swordsmanship surpassed that of adults, she was still only 5. How could she possibly match a battle-hardened vice captain? Sure enough, in the next second, the vice captain suddenly switched to using his foot to attack. Catching Krina off guard, he kicked her flying. Alan and the others rushed forward anxiously but were blocked by the surrounding knights. Yet the real match was only just beginning. At that moment, Krina's aura suddenly changed. She instinctively activated the Sword Saint's exclusive EX skill. When the two clashed again, Krina's attacks were completely different from before. Even the vice captain struggled to defend, and with her next charged strike, she actually split the vice captain's sword clean in half. The result shocked everyone. The match ended there. Krina successfully passed the test. She was only 5 years old, yet she defeated the vice captain of the Night Order, truly worthy of the title Sword Saint. After witnessing her strength firsthand, the captain apologized for his earlier rudeness. It turned out his attitude had been poor, because 3 years ago a certain count's family claimed a Sword Saint had been born. But once that person entered royal service, his performance was disappointing. After investigation they learned his talent was only that of a 1-star swordsman. With such fake cases happening repeatedly, the kingdom had become extremely cautious about appraisal results. The captain instructed them to cultivate Krina carefully. When she turned 12 she could go study in the academy city, and before long he would send instructors to the village, so she could learn some basics in advance. Although Krina's family leaving the serf class was already certain, her relationship with Alan would not change. Their families were people of character, and both sets of parents had been friends since childhood, so they wouldn't grow distant because of a change in status. But Alan understood that strength was the true foundation, so from here on he still had to rely on himself.
Subscribe for more anime stories.